Time for breakfast, and we're beginning the book of Philippians. Shaul and Timotheus, servants of Yeshua Messiah, to all the set-apart ones in Messiah Yeshua who are in Philippi, with the overseers and attendants. Favor to you and peace from Elohim our Father and the Master Yeshua Messiah. I thank my Elohim in all my remembrance of you. In all my prayers for all of you, I always pray with joy. For your fellowship in the good news from the first day until now, being persuaded of this, that he who has begun a good work in you shall perfect it until the day of Yeshua Messiah. It is right for me to think this of you all, because I have in my heart all of you being sharers of the favor with me, both in my chains and in the defense and confirmation of the good news. For Elohim is my witness, how I long for you all with the affection of Yeshua Messiah. And this I pray, that your love might extend more and more in knowledge and all discernment, for you to examine the matters that differ, in order to be sincere and not stumble until the day of Messiah, being filled with the fruit of righteousness through Yeshua Messiah to the esteem and praise of Elohim. And I wish you to know, brothers, that what has befallen me has turned out for the advancement of the good news, so that it has become known to all the palace guard and to all the rest that my chains are in Messiah. The most of the brothers trusting in the Master, because of my chains, are much more bold to fearlessly speak the word. Some indeed proclaim Messiah, even from envy and strife, but some also out of pleasure. The former announce Messiah from selfish ambition, not sincerely, thinking to add distress to my chains, but the latter out of love, knowing that I am appointed for the defense of the good news. What then? Only that in every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Messiah is announced. And in this I rejoice. In fact, I shall rejoice. For I know that this shall turn out for my deliverance through your prayer and the supply of the Spirit of Yeshua Messiah, according to my intense longing and anticipation that I shall not be ashamed at all, but that with all boldness, as always, so now also, Messiah shall be made great in my body, whether by life or by death. For to me to live is Messiah, and to die is gain. And if to live in the flesh is to me a fruit of work, then what shall I choose? I do not know. For I am pressed down by the two, having a desire to depart and be with Messiah, which is much better. But to remain in the flesh is more necessary for your sake. And being persuaded of this, I know that I shall stay and continue with you all for your progress and joy of belief, so that your boasting might overflow in Yeshua Messiah on account of me, through my coming to you again. Only behave yourselves worthily of the good news of Messiah, in order that whether I come and see you or am absent, I hear about you, that you stand fast in one spirit, with one being, striving together for the belief of the good news, without being frightened in any way by those who oppose, which to them truly is a proof of destruction, but to you of deliverance, and that from Elohim, because to you it has been given a favor on behalf of Messiah, not only to believe in him, but also to suffer for his sake, having the same struggle which you saw in me, and now hear to be in me. If then there is any encouragement in Messiah, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any affection and compassion, make my joy complete by being of the same mind, having the same love, one in being and of purpose, doing none at all through selfish or self-conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves. Each one should look not only for his own interest, but also for the interest of others. For let this mind be in you, which was also in Messiah Yeshua, who, being in the form of Elohim, did not regard equality with Elohim a matter to be grasped, but emptied himself, taking the form of a servant, and came to be in the likeness of men. And having been found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, death even of a stake. Elohim therefore has highly exalted him and given him the name which is above every name, that at the name of Yeshua every knee should bow, of those in heaven and of those on earth and of those under the earth. And every tongue should confess that Yeshua Messiah is Master, to the esteem of Elohim the Father. So that, my beloved, as you always obeyed, not only in my presence, but now much rather in my absence, work out your own deliverance with fear and trembling. For it is Elohim who is working in you, both to desire and to work his good pleasure. Do all matters without grumblings and disputings, in order that you be blameless and faultless, children of Elohim, without blemish in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world, holding on to the word of life, for a boast to me in the day of Messiah, that I have not run in vain or labored in vain. In fact, even if I am being poured out as a drink offering on the offering and service of your belief, I am glad and rejoice with you all. So you too should be glad and rejoice with me. But I trust in the Master Yeshua to send Timotheus to you shortly, so that I too am encouraged by news from you. For I have no one else of the same mind who takes a genuine interest in your welfare. For all seek their own interest, not those of Messiah Yeshua. But you know he has proven himself, that as a son with his father he served with me for the good news. So I expect to send him as soon as I see how it goes with me, and I trust in the Master that I myself shall also come shortly. But I thought it necessary to send to you Epaphroditus, my brother, fellow worker and fellow soldier, and your emissary and servant to my need, since he was longing for you all and being troubled because you had heard that he was sick. For indeed he was sick, near to death, but Elohim had compassion on him, and not only on him, but on me as well, lest I should have sadness upon sadness. Therefore I sent him more eagerly, so that on seeing him again you might rejoice, and I be less sad. Receive him therefore in the Master with all joy, and hold such as he in esteem, because for the work of Messiah he was near death, risking his life to fill up what was lacking in your service toward me.